Hey everybody, I am excited to share this project with you. I have, for the last week, been transforming almost everything I own with just bleach. This one bottle of bleach, which I haven't even used up yet, super cheap, and I was able to create a lot of different effects. I'm gonna share 8 with you today, 8 different DIY transformation in 10 minutes. Check it out. Here's all the tools you're gonna need today to do all 8 of these transformations. First, you're gonna need something to dye. I grabbed up all the black t-shirts I owned, which are so many. So you'll need something, some garment of clothing, some fabric to dye. It can be any color, it doesn't need to be black. That leads us to bleach. You need some bleach. I am working with 2 kinds of bleach today. I have a concentrated bleach, which I did like because it's a little thicker and it didn't leak all over as much. And for one project, I'm using a Clorox bleach pen. Another thing you're gonna need is a big bucket. I actually used 2. I used a big mop bucket and then just this metal bucket on my table to transfer things back and forth. For one of the projects, some sort of resist to make a design. So you could make this, you could use a sticker. I just used washi tape. You could also use painter's tape to just lay down over the fabric so the bleach doesn't get underneath it. I also used a stencil, again, easy to purchase, easy to make. If you want to make something custom, just print it out on cardstock and cut it with an X-Acto knife, and then voila. This is just a little cheap squirt bottle that I bought at Hobby Lobby. This is concentrated bleach in here. I use this in a lot of projects. For the more traditional tie-dye methods, you are going to be using rubber bands, so grab your office stash of those. And last but not least, I used a stamping method with a pencil. So if you want to do the stamping one, you're gonna need a pencil and some sort of little container to put the bleach in when you dip. That's it. This is a traditional reverse tie-dye with a squirt bottle. So for this shirt, we're gonna do a more traditional tie-dye kind of look and a more traditional tie-dye technique. So if you've ever tie-dyed before, that's what we're doing, except just with bleach this time. I have my shirt damp. I ran it under the faucet and just wrung it out. I'm gonna turn it over. And I'm gonna put my swirl kind of off to the side. It looks like I got some bleach accidentally here, so I wanna make sure that I cover that up. And you're just gonna do a twist in the middle. You just wanna make sure that this is all nice and tight. Once you have it all gathered up, you're gonna take rubber bands and kind of make it look like pizza slices. Okay, now I'm gonna turn it back onto the side that was down. So this is actually the front of my shirt. And you'll see because this side was flat on the table, it just is a more even swirl. So we're gonna put it down in our bucket and then we're just going to take a squirt bottle of bleach and some water and just start covering our fabric. I'm gonna flip it over and do some on the back too. It's been sitting for a while, probably about 10 minutes. I'm going to take it out of this little bin, you can see all the color coming off, and go rinse it first, and then I'll come back and take the rubber bands off. And the big reveal. Cool. This is a dry reverse tie-dye swirl. So what I'm gonna do with this shirt is a dry reverse tie-dye. I'm gonna do a little swirl here and then take my spray bottle straight bleach. I wanted to wait with it rolled up just long enough to see if I would need to add more bleach. I definitely don't. So even though it's not done exposing in the middle there, I am going to unwrap it. This is a reverse dye with a resist. We're going to spray the bleach on with a spray bottle. This is about half bleach, half water. And I'm gonna put down a resist on the fabric. Once you have your tape on, your design, however you want it to go, we are going to take our spray bottle and I'm just gonna spray it on here. Make sure all my tape is down. You don't need to wait for the bleach to dry. to take the tape off. You can do that at any point. Since I did get some of that bleeding, I'm gonna go in and do a little bit more so it looks intentional. It wasn't. We're just gonna let this develop a little bit more and take a little bit more color out, and then I'm gonna rinse it with cold water and throw it in the washing machine. This is just bleach with a stamp. For this shirt, we're gonna use a stamping method just with simple circles. I'm just gonna use both ends of a slightly dull pencil. I'm gonna dip in my pencil eraser and just go around this tape roll. I'm just going to continue, but I'm gonna space them a little further apart. Now I'm actually gonna flip my pencil to the dull side so that I can get a smaller dot. I'm just going to get a little trail on my pencil. Gonna put it aside, let it cure, and then give it a soak. This is a traditional reverse tie-dye submerged in water and bleach. Instead of squeezing the dye on this time, the bleach, we're going to submerge it in a bleach and water solution. So let's just tie it up. I'm going to just submerge him in a solution of water and bleach. I took this one out of the water and bleach solution. I'm just going to take the rubber bands off. This shirt is two different kinds of fabric, which I think is super interesting. The front part is 100% rayon, and then the back panel and these sleeves are polyester. You can definitely see how this did not take dye. I think it's kind of interesting what it looks like. It kind of made it look more like suede. So I'm actually gonna wash this up and see how it turns out. It might look cool. This is a traditional reverse tie-dye submerged in water and bleach, but only half the shirt. This time I'm only gonna do half the shirt. So I'm gonna put these guys aside and just tie up another one. I only want to put this part in the dye. So I'm just going to submerge this half in the water and leave the other half out. I'm gonna open up this one now that I only dyed half of. This is a reverse dye with a stencil. For this technique, I'm not actually going to be using the bleach from the bottle, though you could also do this with a spray bottle and bleach. I'm gonna be using a Clorox bleach pen. And just to keep everything in place, I'm gonna put down a strip of painter's tape. I'm gonna take my bleach pen, and I'm really gonna use this stencil as more of a guide than a stencil. Cool, so this one's pretty much done. I'm gonna let that bleach sit on there a little while longer so that it takes a little bit more of the color out. Then I'm just gonna rinse it with cold water and throw it in the washing machine. This is a dry reverse tie-dye scrunch. For this one, I'm just going to be bunching, making lots of little bunches. I'm going to rubber band around it. Bleach, spray bottle. There there you go, happy making. Let me know in the comments what your favorite transformation is. Make sure to follow me on different social media and post your pictures of what you made. I'd love to see it.